Hello, good evening, and a very, very, very warm and a cool welcome. Well, I'm super excited, elated to be back over here with Tech Talk Tuesday for teachers. And I don't think I can be more delighted to be back in this room because this room really gives me energy. Well, I got a message to wait for at least 5 minutes before we start. I almost waited for four, and I really can't contain my excitement to meet you back. Thank you for bearing with us. I know we were missing in the month of February, but I think the month of February was super exciting for all of us with the AI Impact Summit happening in India. So much of buzz, so much of, I don't know how much of excitement did you catch on, but that was something that was absolutely amazing. And I am so glad that I'm back in this room, talking to you, speaking to you, because that's what is most close to my heart. So, warm welcome. And the fact that there are board exams going on, I just received a message from some of the teachers in various groups where they said there are board exams going on. I do, wholeheartedly appreciate your making an effort to come here and be a partner in learning with us. It actually helps us design learning experiences in a more richer manner to be able to bring you experiences that are absolutely amazing. We sit on 10th of March today. I know board exams are going on, and right now we are all immersed in exams and results and other things. But for us to align time with our goals and to be able to have a meaningful conversation, I think these forums are very important. So let me not hold you on this. I think let me first introduce what are we going to talk about today and what is it that binds us together for today's session. Today, we are going to talk about beyond lesson planning with AI. Um, I've always believed that lesson planning um, is structured, yet we are yet to find our own depth because the structure is what has been defined for us by either our school or our boards or the policymakers, I would call them. But what's in our hands is the most beautiful part. Nobody stops us or from going as deep and as wide as we would like to. Therefore, I think this is an opportunity to seize. And I think with AI supported instructional workflow, this can actually become very, very rich. So my focus is going to be on that. And I have a special segment for you all. There's a beautiful piece that Monica Joshi is going to present to you all. Yes, Monica Joshi is here with us. Monica, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Meenakshi, for having me here. Thank you so much, and hello, everybody.
Thank you, Monica. It's a pleasure to have, I think, amazing people like you because you bring us opportunities, you bring us new ways of learning, and also a very immersive program. So, I'm going to hold that excitement for a bit till I give the reins in hands of Monica for her to take it forward with you. But till then, I think I'm going to keep the focus on beyond lesson planning and what is it that we are looking at? Why are we talking suddenly about lesson planning of all the things? And then I'll give it to Monica, who will speak to you about coding for climate and more. So here we are. Well, I think even with 25 plus years in education industry, every individual between 1 year experience to I think 20, 30, 40 years of experience, there's one thing that is common that we are hearing from everyone. There's a shift. We hear it very often. Yes, there is a shift. There's a shift in the way we are learning. There's a shift in the way we teach. There's a shift in the way we do things generally. So, for many educators, I think AI currently sits in the lesson planning bucket, which helps you define the objectives, activities, worksheets, assessment. But I think effective teaching goes far beyond this planning. I mean, even if you have a whole lesson plan ready with you, you have all these things outlined for you. When you go to a classroom, what happens in your classroom really depends on where your students are in their learning and where you want to take them. So, this effective planning or teaching is far beyond this planning. And I always believe what is written in the lines of those lesson planning are words that are aspirational. But what happens in the classroom are what are transformational. And to support, how students can think, how students can start doing more, and how students can start creating, that's where we bring in AI. So this segment will help you understand how, not just what's of a lesson planning, but why of a lesson planning. It's only a starting point, and how to use AI in this whole program is going to elevate our understanding about lesson planning to a next level. And when I say lesson planning, I'm sure there are multiple ingredients that are there for lesson planning. I always say that, to make a good recipe, you must know your ingredients well. So go ahead, exercise your fingers, and share with me in the chat window what are the ingredients of a lesson plan according to you. According to you, what are the ingredients of a lesson plan? Share with me in the chat window. I would love to learn from you. For you, what all does a lesson plan entail? Thank you for those wishes, in the chat window. I would love to hear from you. What are those ingredients of lesson planning that you think are essential? Learning objectives, objectives and planning, specific objectives, learning outcomes. Wonderful. Keep them coming. I'm absolutely loving them. I see two learning outcomes. Great. We started with learning objectives, went to objectives, and now we are on outcomes. TLMs, you bet. Conceptual clarity, objectives with methodologies. Absolutely right. Right? But these are the ingredients. It's a list of materials that you need to make a lesson plan. Just the other day, I think this morning when we were in an internal training session, I was mentioning to them, when you are about to cook, you either know your ingredients very well, you lay them out and you simply cook, or you look at a cookbook, think about the nitty-gritties, and then cook according to the recipe. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Elevating your own way of cooking up a lesson plan. Looking at what is a strong lesson plan and what are the essentials of a strong lesson plan. For example, clear learning intentions and success criteria. Well, what is all of that? Let me start laying in front of you the essential ingredients of a strong lesson plan. Strong lesson plan in itself is a term that needs discussion, because I believe that lesson plan, as you all have said, is just a sequence of activities. It's an intentional design of learning. But if we talk about strong lesson plans, it is going to be an intentional design of meaningful learning that is geared towards some of these six pieces that I've highlighted here, each building one on another. Let's unpack them. Clear learning intentions and success criteria, what you're calling learning objectives and outcomes. I feel that your intention is very important. One is outcome. I will again call outcome aspirational. Intention will tell you uh, what the students are learning and why it matters. So, thinking about why of a topic is extremely important. Again, we do a lot of content writing at the pedagogics, and while we are doing this, writing, my only question to them is, if you're teaching the students about, let's say, big numbers, okay, we're doing large numbers, we're doing 1 million, we're doing 1 billion, or crores, or lakhs. My question to you is, why do you want them to learn this? Just because they should be able to identify and recognize? Is recognition your ultimate objective? Or do you want them to apply it somewhere or learn it in context? So instead of saying 1 billion is equal to what, why don't we ask them, India's population is these many billions. How many zeros do you think that number will have? Now that simple math question has now become more meaningful. Why? Because it is it is the intent for learning that is very clear in that question. And the success criteria, that is what good learning looks like. It helps students stay focused. It allows the teachers to align these activities and assess them in a way that will be useful for them tomorrow. And also, it supports ownership. The student has to decipher it for themselves, thinking about it rather than you thinking for them. So that's the change that we are looking at. Number two, engaging hooks and inquiry provocations. Well, that is a piece that has always been the heart of my teaching and learning. I've always said it is extremely important to begin well. Imagine if you came to this webinar and I don't greet you the way I greet you. I simply just say, hello and welcome to this webinar on Beyond Lesson Planning with AI. Let's just start and go on. Exactly how interesting would that be? What if I did not engage you by asking you about ingredients? Those are your hooks. You have started, you've got hooked because of the hooks. It's a powerful stimuli. It makes you think, it makes you care about this topic. It activates your prior knowledge. It sparks many more questions. While you were giving all of these responses, thank you for all those who were given, the rest of them were thinking, okay, what else? So they were thinking along with you and they were building on your thoughts. Yeah. So I always say, whenever you ask a question, we expect answers, right? Like, for example, if I ask you a question, give me all the colors uh, that an apple can be in. Go ahead, fill my chat window. Give me the colors that you see apples in. What kind of colors does an apple come in? Go ahead, fill my chat window. I would love to hear from you. It's a very random question, isn't it? Green. Look, the first answer is out of the blue. Do you see how different it is? And normally, if I ask you, okay, what color is apple? The first thing you'll say is red. And I know the chorus is going to be red. But because I've already ignited your thinking, sparked your thinking beyond red. You're thinking about green. There's also yellow. There's also, then people start getting creative. No, sometimes it is half reddish and half yellow. And sometimes it's like greenish red. So there are multiple shades that you have, in apples. Oh, you're right. But you can talk about it like that because you've started thinking. I've set a purpose for you for learning to think about it. I have shifted you from a passive listener to an active thinker. That's what hooks do. And it's always, always important to start right. Imagine you have a history class. You're going to talk about the Indian independence history, right? And you have nothing on mind today of how to create a hook. And the students have just had a math class. They're going to have a PE or a sports class next. What do you think is on their mind? Either numbers or getting out of this class so that you can actually hit the sports period, right? That's a tragedy of our, uh, you know, timetables. But you are going to teach a very important topic, which is Indian independence history. And my simple question of when I said Indian independence history, when I said these three words, what came to your mind? Or who came to your mind? Or what visuals could you see? Go ahead, share with me in the chat window what came to your mind when I said Indian independence history. Independence Day. Yeah, that's because that's a very important day that we celebrate during the year, right? And imagine if this is the truth for you, what is going to be true for the next generation beyond Mahatma Gandhi and Netaji Subhash? I'm very happy to see different responses coming in. Freedom fighters, Britishers, separation scene. Yeah, all of these are very true for you. For this generation, they don't even know what this is. You ask them what is 1947, and they'll turn around to ask you, were you born that year? Because you are a 19th child, right? I don't know how many old you are, and you might get offended. But that is the reality. Therefore, giving them a hook into what is, uh, you know, Indian independence and what has been our history. Hook them into it. Look, now we are thinking partition tragedy, Veer Chakra, right? So I am going to lay a lot of emphasis on this one because this is not just because it's my favorite, because I think this is the piece where you start talking and thinking. No class is homogeneous, and I think students learn in a different way. Their readiness is different, their interest is different, their pace is different, their learning preferences are different. And not because you want them to think in that direction will they be ready to think in that direction. So, from the first answer, which was Independence Day, here we are till Dandi March. It's a journey because we are building on each other's thoughts, and there are different pathways that every student has taken in this very session to arrive at this. What have we done here? We've engaged you in active learning. Once you know that you're going to learn about this, you become curious. You automatically start asking, really? There was a history and we go back as 1947? Really? Why? What do you mean by independence history? Who was ruling us? Why were we not independent? Well, to think, talk, explore, build, and create, this is the zone which is of active learning zone, where they will go find information, they will receive information from various uh, platforms, including you. You will be one of them, I must say, nowadays. And then they will start applying. Now, while they are applying, they need you. Why? Because you're the fact checker for them. You're the one who's going to validate what they're saying. You're going to be the one whom they're going to look up to as if they were to get that validation from you. So you're moving basically from teacher led to student driven. You're moving from memorizing to reasoning and creating, and you're bringing them as a part or and making them as a part of continuous assessment. You don't have to pause to assess at that time. You will have various checkpoints, exit tickets, quick quizzes, peer feedback, check-ins, probably, some questioning strategies to ask, okay, you think so? Why? And it helps me as a teacher to adjust my instruction and to be able to help students track their progress, that while they are learning about Indian independence history, they are unpacking things in their own way, their own pace, and their own interests. I am only there to drive them into the right track to progress. Here, multimodal experiences become absolutely imperative because they experience content in multiple formats, whether we like it or not, whether we create or not. There are a lot of visuals, auditory, textual, and interactive content that is available, and there are fabrications. Therefore, you're the most important piece. In this whole piece, like they say, multimodal experiences make you learn deeper and faster. You gain a deeper understanding. So imagine it is now your job to validate what is going deeper is also valid or not. Otherwise, they will assume half the things. Because even when you talk about Dani March, we've had discussions in our classrooms because I was teaching in IB classes. We used to have these kind of discussions in our classrooms where we said, do you think these marches are a form of a protest? Do you think you should be influencing others just because you have a thought process? Is this mob strategy or mindset, or was this really need of the hour? Students have started asking questions, and that's good. That's where our conversations begin. That's where we begin to say, I think I have the right ingredients to support my students' learning. So through no, to achieve all of this, through all of this putting together, or even in bits and pieces, AI can support every single layer. So it'll not just be a lesson plan, it'll be much beyond. This shift is what we aspire towards. Yeah. So let's deep dive into this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take help from AI today to help me drive these. You can use Copilot alongside me. I'll be happy to share the prompts in the chat window with you so that we can do it together. Or if you want to maybe observe, I'm okay with that too. So here we are. Let's say I want to talk about the first one, learning intentions. You see, my learning intentions, if you're in the NCRT system, are that they should be aligned to NCRT. That's my first intent. Therefore, What I will do is I will try and keep it very close to what NCRT recommends us to do. NCRT does not define you for you anything. It simply just recommends that this is what you can do, or the learning outcomes have been defined. What you teach within that and how you teach has not been defined. Guidelines have been provided. Yeah. So I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to go to Copilot and I will show to you the ways in which I'm going to use prompting using Copilot. You could be using Copilot app if you are on a Windows device. You could be on the browser using copilot.microsoft.com. You may log in with your, email IDs, that is your school email IDs, academic accounts, and you can also be on your mobile phone and simply just, go ahead and type over there. Yeah. So here I am. I have just typed this. I'm going to give you this in the chat window as well, so don't you worry. Okay. Let's go with class 8. Chapter name I am not sure of. I will just go for India, Indian independence. Whoops. So I kept those blanks deliberately so that you don't have to type. You simply have to make the changes the way I am. 3 to 4 clear learning intentions written in student friendly language. Ensure they begin with "We are learning to." Why? Because we need to shift the onus of learning from us to them and cover knowledge, skills, and conceptual understanding. Yeah. I'm only fixed on learning intentions right now. I'm not even talking about the success criteria. Okay. I want to make the learning intention for this chapter absolutely clear for my students. Let's take it ahead to see what this gives us. And in the meanwhile, I'll also give you this in the chat window so that you too have it with you and you can give it a go and try, this prompt. Just give me a minute. I am just pushing it out. Here you go. I've given this to you if you want to try it with me. Now take a look at this. Learning intentions. We are learning to understand how. For me, this is the key word. Indian freedom struggle grew, including major events, movements, and now if we were to present instead of learning objectives, learning intentions, that's the shift that I'm talking about. Learning objectives are for you and I. The students will be able to. All right. But is that a student friendly way, or is that a way which invites student to, do so? And even if you want to put the language over here to from we are learning to the students will be able to, you can do that. When you say the students will be able to, you are informing somebody, not students, because this is not being shared by with students, right? But it's a wonderful idea. We used to do it in our schools. IB curriculum says if students are to learn, they should know their intentions. And I think that is applicable to every board. That's something I learned from there, that if you're not even telling somebody what they're going to learn, how will they even know what are you going to do in the next class? Just because it's given in the book doesn't mean that student needs to know what's going to happen next, right? Therefore, clear learning intentions is what we can lay out here. We are learning to understand how the Indian freedom struggle grew. We are learning to explain the causes and effects of important movements. We're not just learning about them. We are learning the causes and effects. We are learning to analyze how ordinary people participated in freedom struggle. So when you call someone freedom fighter, they will be able to identify them as a fighter because there were certain reasons for it. Wasn't everybody a fighter? Didn't everybody get freedom? So why are we calling a certain, number of people as freedom fighters and not the rest? Important questions, right? And learning to connect with ideas of nationalism. So these are some of the aspirations that I have for my students to learn. You may have different ones, and that's perfectly all right. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm going to build on this. I'm going to build on this by giving it a success criteria as well. How will I know that my students have been able to Sorry, my students have learned this. I'm going to give it another prompt. Again, I will share this prompt with you, so don't you worry. I'm just bringing it out here. I'm not going to my slides because that gives me a lot of back and forth. So, based on the learning intentions above, create a success criteria starting with I can. Why? Because the student should know what is it that they can or cannot tell, understand, um, probably even convey. All right. Make them observable, measurable, and suitable for middle school students, and write in simple language. Why? Because they are students. I don't want this language to be hard. Oh, I had to give you this. Hold on. I will just push this in your chat window as well. Because if you're trying, I will highly encourage try these prompts with me, but don't go away. I know it's easy to get lost in our prompts, but don't go away. Now look at this. Learning intention one, understanding key movements. I can name important leaders. I can list major events. I can explain. They know what their capabilities should be. So while they have to progress, they've been able to name. The next level would be list major events. The next is explain these in simple words. Why Indians wanted freedom. It just breaks down your entire process automatically into much beyond blooms, much beyond 21st century skills, and they start learning in a very pragmatic manner. Imagine how, from understanding to explaining to analyzing to connections, is what they have been able to build here. Yeah, this is what is truly moving beyond lesson plans, going to the next level, and bringing learning together here in a way that they are able to own that piece to say, I think I understand what this whole process was. But you remember, you have to hook them. Therefore, I'm going to bring in the hook here. Create an engaging notice and wonder provocation. For the above, I'm just going to remain on the same topic. Okay. The above include image description plus four inquiry questions to spark curiosity. Now imagine I am asking for a particular pedagogy. You could be asking for anything. You could be doing CER, claim, evidence, reason. You could be doing AR, assertion and reasoning. You could be doing anything that you want. But start thinking about thinking. Start asking who, what, why, where, when. Give me questions that are simple. Once again, spark curiosity, but in a simple language. Got it? I'm going to copy this first because I need to give it to you. I know. And that's how I'm building my inquiry and taking it deeper into, where we were. And I'm just moving forward with the Indian independence history, making it look like something. This is something that I would like to find out. Imagine if you displayed this or a description of this. If you take this and create an image. So if you want to create an image, simply just take this. They've given you all the ingredients, and also you can simply just look over here to say design a gallery walk of activity using this or whatever you want. I'll just say create an image using all of this. Okay, let it create an image. Now till it's creating an image, I'll go back over here to say an old black and white photograph shows a large crowd marching on a street during freedom movement, and people are holding handmade banners, spinning khadi on a charkha, and some are raising their hands in protest. As I'm saying this, even if I don't have the image, if I say this in an impactful manner, you will actually see the vision in your own minds. And in the background, British police officers standing, watching. There are women, children, workers, and students all walking together with the determination on their faces. Did that create a vision for you? I'm sure it did. So ask the students, look closely at the image and share what you notice. They may not notice what you are noticing. You're using simple curiosity stems to ask them, what is it that you notice? and then give them these questions. What do you think is happening in the scene? Why do you think there are so many people together? There are protests that happen today also. They will make a connection to that. Why is the picture black and white? That might be a student's question who is interested in art. There might be another one who says, Ma'am, I think they're playing a scene from a drama because they've not seen all of this happening or heard all of this happening in real life. Once you have unpacked all of that, the last question of what feelings and ideas do you think motivated people to take part in this? That's one of the most powerful questions that you can ask. And when you ask them to create an image, there you go, right? Your image is ready. Now, put a combination of this image alongside the questions that I just wrote, and I think you just bringing their learning to life, you're actually giving them something to think about. But is that enough? No, because our work as a teacher is to keep giving them hooks so that they are able to understand and learn. Design a real life scenario that introduces the above. Just a minute. That introduces Indian independence movement in the way, okay, my spellings. Indian independence movement in a way that feels meaningful to the students. Yeah. So independent. Okay. I'm still not okay and I'm okay. To the middle students, add three inquiry questions to activate thinking. Three more questions. I've already taken those questions and I forgot to give this to you. I will just give this to you. Just a second. Pushing them into your chat window now. You see what has happened? A simple chapter on Indian independence history, which may be over one or two chapters in your book, has just become an inquiry in the class to take up. It's allowing students to pursue the school without choices. Okay, we did this once. We actually did this in our school, and this is grade four students that we did it with. It was Labor Day, and we told students that today all support staff are off because it's Labor Day. It's their day off, and we need to honor them for what they do. Therefore, they will not be doing that. And you will be, the one who will be in charge of your own things. Imagine going to the cafeteria. There is no one to serve the food. No one has cooked. So whatever you have, that's limited. When you, come back to the classroom, uh, while you were away, they had normally cleaning happens at least twice a day. No one has cleaned the floors. There is no one to take care of the glasses in which you've had water. They're still lying dirty. And there are so many other things. What do you do? You're in a position where you don't have a choice, but you have to do things like those, right? Which are not you. If I come to a very specific one, we've also done this, and I'm sure many of you have done this. You must wear a uniform made by a company, whether you like it or not. Or we do a uniform only day or no uniform day, and then we see, or something like no longer bring a snack. We do this during health week. So when you're bringing in healthy food, if it is not a portion from every food group, you can't eat what you've brought. So the only snack that you can bring is, which is a whole meal from all protein groups. Oh, sorry, all food groups, whether it's protein, carbohydrates, fats, minerals, everything, vitamins, everything should be on your snack. If it's not there, you can't have it. So you're forcing them to think in a way they are not used to. Yeah. We deserve the right to make our own decisions. That's the message that you are driving. That's what was missing, and therefore this happened. For them to understand this, you have to put them in that shoe to be able to realize, oh, this is what you meant. And there are follow up questions to help you. Well, right now, many misconceptions start coming in. They start thinking about, I think why would anyone come and rule? Why did you allow them to do so? Right? If they were doing this, I think they were doing this because today we have a better infrastructure or railways because they brought us those systems. Yeah. Just a minute about the same topic. Now I want misconceptions cleared. Therefore, I'm giving them a chance to clear out their thoughts, clear their minds, have clarity on the right path and the right way to learn things. Here is a sequence, and I can go on, but I can tell you that if we start thinking beyond lesson plan, we can actually take this learning from consumption of facts and incidents and evidences and grasping of numbers to a meaningful way of learning. And I think across industries, we are looking at publishers, we are looking at teachers, we are looking at edtech companies adopting these practices. Therefore, it is very important that if you don't want to be framed in a frame in which they will present to you, you start making your own frames. And here it is in front of you how beautifully AI can actually help you get these into your classrooms. It is that simple. Imagine truth or myth. We play this a lot. I just did an entrepreneurship, session with students, and we did truth and myth. Believe you me, the number of myths outnumbered the number of truth like anything. Because to them, everything is, I will find out on online, I will find out through social media and other things. But the minute you start putting misconceptions like only famous leaders like Gandhi and Nehru fought freedom struggle, or India became free quickly because Britishers decided to leave. Oh, that's a misconception. They don't know there were 100 years of subjugation that happened before we could actually achieve that freedom. And they need to know. So, what will come to surface is not just their belief, but it'll clarify their misconceptions. So, what we are looking at is for us to take a journey with our students, use AI as our tool to be able to make richer and more authentic learning experiences where we are talking beyond lesson planning, where we are looking at making this learning more meaningful, making this learning more closer to what it can be for our students. And in a nutshell, AI is not just your planning assistant. It is your thinking partner. Please always remember that. It is your creativity booster. It is your differentiation accelerator. Therefore, please use it for what it is for you. I hope it's been, really useful for you for whatever I've shared. If you have any questions, I'm very much here. But there's something super exciting, and I've already taken away 2 minutes of Monica's time. There's something super exciting related to what I have just said. I'm sure Monica's is going to build on that because she's got something really exciting for you. So at this point, I'm open to any questions or thoughts that you may have. Share them in the chat window. And Monica, I invite you to take over, please.
Thank you so much, Meenakshi. I felt like an engrossed student in your class. It was amazing. I learned a lot today. It's
My
always,
pleasure.
being fabulous attending your session. And, due to some schedule here and there, I miss it. But then, I made a point today. I'm coming every Tuesday to learn more.
My pleasure, absolutely. And we'll be really happy to have more people in the room. But yeah, the time is all yours.
Yeah. So I really like after exploring how AI lessons design, can empower future-ready learners. Let's take next step using coding as a tool to solve real-world challenges. So in the next 15 minutes, we'll see how coding for climate turns students into creators of, climate solutions. Let me share my screen. I have something very exciting for you. Okay, my screen is visible.
Certainly. Go ahead, please.
All right. So I'm Monica Joshi, the Global Teacher Recruitment Coordinator at Take Action Global. So we are bringing coding for climate by Take Action Global this year, especially for Indian educators. So let me give you an overview about the Coding for Climate. It's a 3 week, global learning experience where your students learn computer science foundations, build problem solving creativity and computational thinking skills using digital tools to design environmental solutions and collaborate with like minded classrooms around the world. And you must be thinking, okay, coding for climate, I don't know coding, but then, it's an experience which is free of cost for all the students. And you, teachers, and your students need not to have a prior coding experience. If you have, it's good, but then we have an option for unplugged coding also, and it is open to students ages for 6 to 18 globally. So basically, it is starting from the 16th of March, but then I understand that many schools in India, they are starting with their new sessions in the month of April. Just now we were listening that all of you are, coming from your board checking and there are examinations going on. So you have the flexibility to take this challenge to be following in your schools from April 1st. But then if your schools are running down, you can start from 16 March onwards. And it is divided into 3 phases. The first phase is exploring, introducing the climate change concept to your students and exploring about environmental challenges and then choosing the league. So we have brought 4 leagues basically: water, energy, ocean, and land. And in case your students want to work on something else, they're more than welcome because it is made for students. It's a student led project. If they want to choose any other league, they can choose that. But if you choose these ones, you will be getting the badges based on that. Yeah. And if you want to connect with the educators WhatsApp group, I'll be sharing the link of the website there. So you can be connected to have ready regular information on from the WhatsApp also. The second phase is in the next 2 weeks, wherein when you have chosen the problem statement, I mean, not you, your students have chosen the problem statement on what they will be working, you have to select an environmental challenge and then choose what solution you will be preparing using any digital tool. So, any digital tool, it can be Minecraft, it can be Scratch, it can be a simple poster made in Adobe Express, it can be a video, it can be a handmade poster also. And then, begin designing the solutions, your students doing it. And yes, you being as the facilitator for the students. The third phase is to collaborate and act. When your students have prepared the solutions, you have to submit it on the platform, which I will be just showcasing it to you right now, and then submit it on the platform. And then later on, collaborate with the community that is available on the Coding for Climate community platform, the community wall. Collaborate with them and celebrate what your students have made in your classrooms, showcase to them, and then they will, showcase their prototypes or solutions with you. It's a learning festival basically where you partner with the global classrooms for a digital collaboration and share and celebrate the joy of learning. Also, we have a live event on the Earth Day at around 8 a.m. ET. It will be, I think, 4 p.m. IST. So, where the students' best projects selected will be highlighted on the live event. Also, the educators will be selected to be invited there and share their learnings, how they, have the implementation story and how they build solutions into their classroom. So now how you have to go about with the teaching resources. So there's a teaching action guide for exploration of the climate change concepts and environmental challenges themes, which has the layout of all the leagues that I just told you in the previous slide. which is a guidance regarding the program, aim, structure, and digital tools at your disposal so that you have a ready reckoner how you have to take this program further in your classrooms. And there are different playbooks. Like I said, you have to prepare, your students have to prepare the solution using various applications. So there are all lesson plans available on the portal on the website, which has coding for climate app design playbook, Minecraft playbook, Lego Fortnite playbook, for plastic, and then for Scratch, Make Code Argit. And then in case you don't want to use the coding platform, like I said, then you can use the unplugged coding playbook also. So now, how do we have to, go and register? So here's the QR code and or the link. I'll just be sharing into the chat window, and let me take you to the website. I've shared the registration for the Coding for Climate platform. And here's the website. When you have to register, you have to just click here and then write down your first name, last name, and your email ID and the password, and prepare a strong password, a maximum of 10 characters. That's the requirement, and it should be a strong password having special characters, numbers, and alphabets. Once you have signed in, you will be asked to fill in certain details, like what will be the age group of your students, what are the gender of your students, how many number of students will be participating, what subject do you teach, and then which school you are from. I'll just show you one of my demo login so that how does it looks like. So once you have created your login looks like this. Like I said, you will be asked what is your language, your country, the gender of your students, what do you teach, and what is the age group of your students, that will be asked. And then we do not need any detail of your students. You have to register on behalf of your students. Insert your image here so that the community know you, that you are here. And then to say hi to the community, just go and click on the community wall and write here, hey, so and so, I am from Satpal Mittal School. My name is Monica Joshi, and I am teaching from learners, 6 to 8. My students are making this prototype. We are using the Ocean League, and then post it here. So when you are coming on the last page, so that you are able to collaborate with so many educators. So this is the community wall, which is not open. It's entirely knitted in the Coding for Climate platform only. So no outsider can be openly seeing this wall. Once you have logged in, only then you can see this. The next thing is when you come into the login, you just click on this C4C playbook badge. So we have gamified this concept for you also. You have created your login and you have to attain these badges. How to attain these badges? The first badge is to complete your profile. You get a beginner's badge. Then you download the playbooks and the action guide. You click here and then you reach and click on the action guides. And these are all the playbooks you can download. You must download to attain that badge. And then next is the C4C Profile Pro. Next is Community Champion. I've already said and hi. You will get the Community Champion badge. Next is C4C Connector. So it is something, you are more than welcome, to invite other educators. So it is your referral link. You can copy and give it to the other educator. so that they are able to join the community, and you are achieving the badge on the basis of that. And if you are inviting 10 more educators, you get the C4C super connector badge. Last thing is how you have to submit the solution. You have to come here and you know click on submit solution, select on the page, and then provide the description here. Select on what league you have worked on, select what solution you have prepared using which app, put the link here, which is view, I mean, like everybody can see, view only by everybody, and then submit. Like I said, there are three phases. Firstly, you choose the league. Se- Second, you choose the platform where you have to prepare the prototype. Third, you have to submit and celebrate. Let me show you the leagues. So here are, one second. Okay, so here's the action guide, which gives you the complete purview of what are all the phases of coding for climate, what are all leagues, all the explanation about all the leagues, what is climate change, what is water league, all the references, all the links given related to water league. And then, for example, you have chosen the energy league, and then under that, you can, make a project like how you can save the energy using having a prototype where, solar energy is used. Or example, if you have chosen the land league, how you can, save the biodiversity. For example, you can prepare a project on honeybees, how honeybees are important for the environment because, it helps in pollination, and then so on and so forth. You can build in that. And you can prepare certain projects with the help of Minecraft for the Scratch. And yeah, this is all about that. And in case you want to come and attend further webinar of mine, so here is a link for the webinar. And in case you want to connect me further with regard to this coding for climate, I will provide my email ID. So you can connect me on by writing an email. And I'll be more than happy to answer any query if you have. Yeah.
Thank you, Monica. I think this was very informative. In fact, it gelled so beautifully with today's concept because it just gave you the ingredient that you're looking for to take to your classrooms. Yeah. And of course, if you want to ask anything, our chat window is open. You can reach out to Monica any which way that you would like. And, we'll be happy to take this further on. And we'll be happy if you do because that's actual engagement. If you think somewhere in your school you're not in charge of this, there's someone else, just connect them with Monica. She'll help you out. Thanks, Monica.
Thank
Okay.
you so much, Meenakshi, for giving this platform and opportunity.
Sure, anytime. So, anything meaningful, I would love to bring to you anytime. And I think this was absolutely that. And today was a glimpse into what we can do beyond lesson planning. Here's our complete portfolio of, actually not complete. This is just about a partial portfolio of what we do. And of course, for today, you can take a test. Take a test on what we have spoken about. In that test, you will have 5 questions to answer. Those are all MCQs. Don't worry. Those are not your long answer questions. I know we shy away from a test, but of course, there's a criteria that you need to score at least 80% so that you qualify for a certificate. The test can be taken. I'm just dropping the link in your chat window. You can either scan this QR code and take the test. I'm also dropping the link to the test in the chat window alongside this QR code so that you can take a test at your will. And the details of payment of nominal fee of rupees 200 is also given in this form itself. Okay, so you can go ahead and take a test. Our March schedule is what it was in February. We are taking the same topics, however, the dates are different, which means we are meeting every Tuesday. So, for example, on 17th of March, that is next Tuesday, we will be talking about what's new in AI in EDU and Microsoft EDU. Super interesting because there's been so much that has happened. There have been many new releases of many new features. So come back on 17th of March, bring back as many teachers as you can. This is your update session. I would say go back, bring back all the teachers. This is your update capsule at no cost, literally. All right. So come back. And of course, don't forget to give us a feedback. We thrive on your feedback, and you know that, right? I'm going to drop all these links once again and our handles as well for you to follow. Ask me why, and I'll tell you. Well, let me tell you, we are going to start posting videos of real practices of Copilot by the teachers. We have been collecting these over time, and you view these, leave a comment, like, love, share, whatever you want to do with them. Instagram handle will be full of videos twice a week, every Tuesday and every Friday. We will be posting new videos of teachers sharing their practice of what did they do with Copilot, because at most what you do is come here, learn with us here on Tech Talk Tuesday for Teachers. But I think it's also important to hear many more voices. So we are bringing these voices to you starting today. We are going to post one video today. Each video will have at least two voices. So every Tuesday and Friday, expect a new post. Have a very informative, very I would say, hooked week ahead as we meet you next Tuesday. Please do take care and have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. Thank you and bye bye.